This is how much money I made last year on my personal gaming channel. And the numbers we're looking at today are pretty interesting because in 2024, I released 9 videos, 27 shorts, and I did 75 live streams. And by the way those numbers shook out, I assume now you're thinking, okay, this guy's just gonna tell me to live stream the rest of my life. But no, there's a little more nuance to these numbers than that. For example, some of the money coming in on that content is actually from videos I posted in 2023 and beyond. They were evergreen and they just continue to bring in views and money throughout 2024. And then of the 9 videos I released in 2024, 2 of them got well over 100,000 views, and one of those 2 videos was actually several hours long because it was a compilation of a whole bunch of live streams that I wanted to try out. A compilation like that is obviously going to get more watch time and thus more mid-roll ads will show, and that means it's going to bring in more money than my average video. So no, the money I made in my little corner of YouTube is actually a combination of efforts all working together to bring me a decent amount of money every single year. And I'm sharing this with you today because I want you to see just how much work I put into my channel versus the reward I received for said work. And even though I'm not going to give you the name of my channel today for reasons I'll explain later, I still feel like this is worth sharing for a number of reasons. For one thing, newer creators, and today I am focused on gaming channels, but all of us put so much emphasis on getting monetized on YouTube in the first place without any real insight into what a gaming channel can make via AdSense or other means. Also, I don't think enough people really talk about how much actual work goes into making videos, whether you're full-time or part-time. And to that point, I myself am in an interesting position because I work here full-time, but the gaming channel is something I do part-time on the side just for me and just for fun. For me, at the end of the day, this channel is just a hobby, and that's important to note going forward as we're going to go through a whole bunch of numbers, and I think that context will really help. So let's break this down by first looking at how much money each type of content made that I published in 2024. Videos alone accounted for $10,154.70, while the shorts accounted for $317.74. And then the live streams alone made $15,734.32. As for the revenue streams themselves, I think you'll find this pretty interesting because when we look at all content, watch page ads made $23,978.05, but memberships were the second highest income stream at $4,167.64. The ads obviously make a lot of money and live streams made me the most money, but let's talk about the ads real quick because there's a very important caveat here that I think people really need to understand. I do not run ads while I'm live. I hate ads in live streams. As a viewer, I find them incredibly disruptive. And when I've tested running ads automatically while I'm live on YouTube, every single time an ad break happened, I would lose viewers so quick. And it would be really hard to kind of like build them back up as the stream continued. And by the time I got my numbers back up, another ad would play and there they went again. So if I'm not running ads during the streams, how can I have ad revenue attributed to live streams? Well, if you haven't guessed already, basically what's happening is people are watching my streams once they are no longer live. They become VODs, video on demand. But first, we should probably talk about why live streaming is such a big part of my channel strategy, besides the fact that it's obviously the easiest kind of content to make and it just brings me pure joy. I guess that is kind of the biggest reason though. Videos are high effort and I just don't have a ton of time. They're obviously the biggest way I get discovered so that people will come to my live streams in the first place. So videos are high effort, but also they have the highest reward potential. Meanwhile, my shorts are pretty simple. They are just clips from my live streams, so very easy and quick to repurpose. In my experience, if one of those shorts takes off, I've found that my next live stream, as long as I'm kind of playing the same game, gets a lot more concurrent viewers. As I said earlier, though, I only posted 27 in 2024, and I probably could have done a lot more, but 1, I'm kind of picky, and 2, I'm kind of lazy. Again, I don't have a ton of time, and I'm trying to just keep this chill and a nice, fun hobby. So even though I can sit here and admit to you that more videos and more shorts would absolutely grow my channel faster, I have 4 main reasons I am absolutely fixated on live streams. They don't take much time to produce. You can easily generate shorts from them. You can even generate long form videos from them, as I've already talked about with my big several hour video. And at the end of the day, it's my happy place. I love streaming so much, and it's one way that I unwind after a long day of other things going on in my life. Could it shift my priorities, grow my channel faster? 1000% it could. But if you were to just come up to me and offer me an additional $30,000 for this year to do exactly what I've been doing with 0 changes on top of what I'm already making at my job, I would take you up on that. That's because for me, this is about goals and priorities. All of my professional goals are tied to my actual job, which means my personal goals don't need to have as much pressure on them. So before we get to the next section of this video, just pause real quick and let me know in the comments, what are your personal goals or professional goals when it comes to YouTube? Because for me, it's to have fun. And that's exactly why I haven't shared with you the name of the channel, because as soon as I tie that channel to what I'm doing here at vidIQ, no longer can I really focus on that as a personal fun goal. It ties it to my professional goals, and thus it becomes no longer fun. And more than likely, I would just start another YouTube channel that I don't tell anyone about, and it is just for me once again. But now let's answer some questions. I have some questions here that I've been asked in the past just by friends and colleagues when I talk about my channel, and I've also written some of these down because I assumed people might ask them in the comments. But if you have questions you want to ask me after hearing this list, feel free to answer them. I'll spend some time in the early part of the release of this video trying to answer them. The first one I've been asked a few times is, what am I doing to kind of balance the hobby with all the work I have to do at my job? And right now the answer to that, especially going into this year, was to start actually looking for some extra help. I've started to hire some editors, and that helps me kind of turn more shorts around. I want to do a lot more than 27 this year if I can help it. And I just try to make sure I don't put any extra pressures on myself. If I'm not feeling like streaming on a day where I already super promised my viewers I would, I don't. I go into my Discord and I'm like, I'm not streaming today. I'm tired. I don't feel good. See you tomorrow. Should you do what I'm doing? Should you just focus purely on live streams and make the occasional video or short here and there? And I'm going to go back to what I said a minute ago about personal goals. What is your goal? Because like I said, if you were to focus purely on videos and you did a really good job and you broke down your strategy, every single video you tried to improve something about the next video and so on and so forth, and you treated it more like a full-time job than I'm treating my channel, I think you'd grow a lot faster, and I think you'd make a lot more money doing videos. I think I would make so much more money if I flipped my strategy to do barely any live streams and focus purely on making excellent videos. The next one I want to talk about is the idea that $30,000 a year for some people might actually be enough for a full-time salary. And I want to go over some technical things real quick in case you're kind of like new to the whole YouTube game, making money on another platform like this. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different situation. Taxes come into play, and there's a rule of thumb. I'm not going to tell you how much to save for taxes, but I save personally like in the range of like 35% of my YouTube checks. And again, everything's changing all the time. Politics plays a role there. So it's probably better if I start saving a little more actually. But end of the day, everyone's different. There's going to be taxes you have to consider. You have to consider your cost of living. YouTube doesn't provide healthcare. All of these factors come into play. And let's not forget that AdSense is completely unpredictable and depends on what niche you're in. So going full time based on just reaching a benchmark number, I always say that's not like the best place you want to be. I would be going for like 3 times that amount at least. But again, look at your own financials and your own situation. And in that same vein, I also want to talk a little bit about what it would take to go full-time beyond just the obvious things where you have to consider your taxes and everything else. Because one of the main things I did, you might have noticed the membership money I was making, is that I'm trying to build a community. YouTube is a lot more fun, for one thing, and a lot more stable for another, if you build a solid community and you're not just kind of uploading videos for the sake of getting views from any old eyeballs. When you're in the gaming and entertainment niche, it's a lot easier to build community because you're kind of rallying people that have like a similar interest in something just fun, something that they like to do in their personal time, you know, play video games. It becomes a lot easier to kind of like build up this base of people where you can talk to them about the things that you enjoy and that they enjoy. And you can even host events depending on what kind of games you're playing. So there's a lot you can do there. And when people are part of your community and they like what you're doing, they'll become members. They'll sign up for your Patreon and things like that. And that is one way to diversify your income stream so you're not fully reliant on AdSense. My main piece of advice to anybody trying to go full-time is actually to not really focus on it as going full-time. You should have goals, of course, but ironically, you can make a lot more money if you put the full-time money stuff out of your head and you just focus on making good content that people actually enjoy and building up a solid community along the way. People need to see that you're having fun, and if you're stressed about money, it's going to be kind of hard to portray fun on camera. But if they feel like you're having fun and they join you for the ride, and you can put the money stuff out of your head, I think you will grow a lot faster. And one thing I want to address, because I feel like this is going to come up given what recently happened here at vidIQ, would I ever quit vidIQ to go full-time like John did? And for this one, I'm not going to say yes or no, because for one thing, I'm the kind of person who believes if I won the lottery, I still love doing this so much, I would probably find time to continue to do it. That being said, if I actually won the lottery, would I do that? Or would I be too busy spending my millions and millions of dollars to come back and make videos for vidIQ? The answer is I don't know, but what I do know about myself right now is that I love gaming and I like doing it as a fun hobby, and I love vidIQ and I love talking about YouTube and trying to help people with their channels. So there's this really cool symbiosis that even though I don't directly link to my other personal channels or anything like that, I learn a lot from them, and I can take what I learned from those channels that are in an entirely different niche on YouTube and bring them here to vidIQ to hopefully try and help people out there grow their channels. So this symbiosis where I have like this full-time job and I have this part-time thing and both make me money, which is great, works really, really well for me, and I'm extremely lucky and grateful for it. Anyway, this was kind of a more personal video for me. I don't normally do stuff like this, but I thought it'd be kind of fun because I realized that I don't perceive what I'm doing on my gaming channel as a ton of effort, but I've made a little bit of money, and I thought that I was, cool to share. The next thing I want to show you, though, is John's video about going full-time on his own channel. This actually did result in him quitting vidIQ, but he shared all of his numbers and his channel, by the way. He did more than I did there, and I think you will enjoy it if this kind of topic interests you. So have fun.